It was a chilly January night in 2023 when our group of friends gathered on the Subscribe server for a night of chat and games. We were having a blast, sharing stories and playing games, when a new member joined our voice chat, Deathcrawl. No one had seen him before, and his strange microphone noise immediately caught our attention. We were all curious and a bit spooked. As we tried to calm him down, he shared his terrifying story. Deathcrawl was a 27-year-old man from Bihar, living with his family in a 2-floor house. They had rented out the upper floor to a bank employee, who seemed suspicious from the start. He would come home late at night, and his daily routine didn't add up. The family grew more uneasy when they discovered he was living alone, despite claiming to be married. Days passed, and the bank employee's wife arrived. But instead of peace, the house was filled with strange noises, arguments, and screams. The family tried to stay out of it, but the society people complained about the disturbances. When they finally confronted the couple, they found the wife brutally beaten and sexually abused. She escaped and called her family, who came and took her away. The husband, frantic and violent, went to the girl's house, demanding to know where his wife was. We were all on the edge of our seats, listening to Deathcrawl's chilling tale. It was a night we would never forget, a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying horrors are the ones that happen in our own homes. After leaving, the husband became a significant problem for Deathcrawl. Since the girl's family was involved in politics, they had some influence and might have used it to threaten or intimidate her. Fearing for his safety, Deathcrawl went underground, hiding and remaining silent as the situation unfolded. This was crucial background information, as it sets the stage for what happened next. The investigation was ongoing at Thakar's house, specifically on the upper floor where Deathcrawl lived. As a result, the floor was completely locked down, and no one was allowed to enter. It was left untouched, and the date was around early January at 12:30 a.m. Deathcrawl was sitting alone in his room, trying to catch up on work, when he noticed his balcony door opening slightly on its own. Assuming it was just the wind, he got up to close it but didn't lock it. After sitting back down, he heard a knock on the door, which was strange since there was no bell on the other side. When he went to check, there was no one there, making him feel uneasy. He properly locked the door and returned to work, but a few minutes later, he noticed the door was slightly open again, despite being locked. This time, he felt scared and realized it was very late at night, so he decided to take a break and rest. The person rushed inside the room, feeling overwhelmed by the emotional face staring back at them. Unsure of what to do, they contemplated distracting themselves by talking to someone or spending time with someone else. Eventually, they decided to open Discord and chat with everyone there, reflecting on the events that had led them to this moment. They remembered a gathering on January 6th, where they played games and discussed various topics, but a sense of fear slowly crept in. As they continued playing games and chatting, strange noises from the microphone and peculiar voices added to their unease. Around 1 a.m., they paused the games, considering a new idea proposed by someone to share horror stories at 2 a.m. Despite some initial hesitation, they agreed, fueled by a mixture of curiosity and excitement. As he turned to look up towards the balcony, a shiver ran down his spine. The figure he saw through the window was not quite human. It was a dark, shadowy presence, with an emotional face that seemed to stare right back at him. Panic surged through him, urging him to flee into the safety of the room. His mind raced, unsure of what to do in that moment. Slowly, the fear escalated, his heart pounding in his chest. Should he distract himself by talking to someone? Or perhaps spend time with another? The decision was made to open Discord, seeking solace in the company of others. But even amidst the chatter, an unsettling feeling lingered. As the night wore on, strange noises echoed through the microphone, and eerie voices whispered in the background. The temperature in the room dropped, chilling him to the bone. Fear gripped them all as they continued to share horror stories, each tale growing darker and more sinister. Then, at 3:30 a.m., as he shared his own personal paranormal experience, a chilling cry pierced through the silence. It wasn't just any scream, it was a desperate plea for help, echoing from the depths of the night. Was it a trick of the imagination, or something more sinister lurking in the shadows? As the others questioned what they had heard, a cold realization dawned upon them all. The scream had been heard by everyone, clear as day, emanating from the depths of discord. And with that realization, the night grew even darker, enveloping them in a blanket of fear and uncertainty. Everyone was terrified as strange events unfolded. People were asking what was happening with the petrol, and we were concerned. The situation became serious, and we heard a strange scream noise 3 times. It seemed to be coming from the floor above us. We were scared, but we didn't have any evidence since we weren't recording at the time. The strange occurrences continued, and we started to believe that something supernatural was happening. We saw shadow figures, and one night, Death experienced sleep paralysis and saw a black figure attacking him. When he woke up, he found scratch marks on his back. We realized that there was a negative spirit or entity in the house, and we called a tantric to perform a cleansing ritual. The tantric gave us something to protect us from the spirit. Thanks for joining me on this chilling journey. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like and subscribe for more spine-tingling tales.